Hello everybody, this is Stephen Howson. This is Full Time Devils. Hopefully this stream works now. The last one, we had to restart it. It was no signal getting through for anything like that. So hopefully this one is now alive and kicking and some of you guys are able to join us. I don't really know what to say about that game because it just wasn't great, was it? It was expected. It wasn't. I can't get upset because I was watching it thinking we was going to lose anyway, and that's never a good place to be from a United fan point of view. And ultimately, Tottenham did what they did, and we do what we've been doing. And obviously, Jose Mourinho's decided that United are definitely not going to be looking at the league to get into the Champions League this season. And I'm sure the comment section is going to be full of little 10-year-old opposition fans that think that this matters. And the likes of Spurs, the likes of Liverpool, the likes of City, and even Arsenal saying, oh yeah, you're going to finish above us. Well, what have you won? Ultimately, what have you won? If we fail to get Champions League qualification by winning the Europa League, it's not been a good season whatsoever. If we do get Champions League qualification by beating Ajax a week on Wednesday, we've won 2 trophies and we've got Champions League football. And the squad wasn't perfect. I did think we was going to win the league at the start of the season, but things haven't gone our way, ultimately. We've not really had that much bad luck with injuries compared to previous seasons, but ultimately our finishing has cost us, and Jose Mourinho has improved Manchester United, but as it stands right now, these last couple of games, he's completely thrown the towel in on the league, and we have to sit here and analyse it and sit here and talk about it, but like I said, I'm not going to get upset about it, I'm not going to get het up, because that's not what I do, and that's not how I feel either. More importantly, it's not how I feel. I feel like it's disappointing. I'd like United to put more of an effort in, but when you look at the injuries that we've got and the key personnel that we've got, and one thing I do blame Jose Mourinho for and do point the finger at him for is allowing the likes of Schneiderlin and Schweinsteiger to be sold, because I do think they would have got some serious amount of minutes, and even Memphis as well, towards the latter stage of this season, and they could have been useful on the running in the Premier League, in the hunt for getting that Champions League qualification. It's a massive gamble that we've got looking to this one-off game against Ajax, who are in great form. They're in high spirits, and we face them not in great form, not in high spirits, and missing several key players. And I thought Bailly was all right today. He was one of the few that looked like he was having it. I fear for Smalling and Jones. I'm not sure that they're going to be good enough to be kept around by Jose Mourinho. Wayne Rooney got a goal, didn't really offer a great deal more than that. Martial did look like he was our only threat. I do like him coming in from that left-hand side, especially against, similar to what Rashford offers actually. Teams that play a high line like that, Martial can always look good at getting behind them. What United need for next season is a man that can work in the tighter spaces against the smaller teams, and people tell me that Lukaku's a flat-track bully despite him having an excellent record of scoring against the top 6, and I think we need a flat-track bully. I think that's what we could do with someone who scores against those bottom teams, someone who actually puts the ball in the back of the net against them, and that would do me very happy altogether, you know what I mean? But this is going to be a long 10 days now. 24th of March, we go to Stockholm, we face Ajax in our literal season-defining 90 minutes, potentially more. But the next 2 matches in between that, I mean, is anyone looking forward to going to Southampton on Wednesday? I don't know what side Mourinho's going to put out. I have no idea. And do you know what? What's strange is that Mourinho made changes today like he was trying to chase the game. He didn't make changes for the sake of giving debuts, for the sake of minutes. He brought on players that I think he actually thought he was going to get a chance at the game. I thought once they got that second goal, there was no hope back. There was no way back for Manchester United in that. I thought once they got that second goal, that was that. And we had half a chance. Just that scrappy little chance that everyone always has when he's only a goal in it, that he can pull something back and get a point. And I thought that we had half a chance at doing that. Ultimately, we didn't end up having a chance at that. Loads of people just going nuts in the comments. I'm not going to start reading all these comments out because no one's got anything constructive or intelligent to say, and people are just ranting, and I'm not going to be sitting here and just ranting. I mean, yeah, it was a bad game, but ultimately, did you really expect anything other than that? If you did, you should have sorted your expectations prior to the game. This is a Tottenham team that have been flying this year. Little pressure on them again. No, it's pretty easy to come second when you're not challenging for that title. There's no pressure on you. And all the teams underneath them just falling over themselves to be shit. Liverpool, Arsenal, United, City. Just can't wait to cock up a result. We had so many opportunities throughout this season that the league really was our best opportunity. We just didn't want to take it at all. We didn't want to take it. Every time it was offered, no thanks. It's far too easy for us to just win a game of football that we've completely dominated and all the rest of it. But, anyone that starts thinking Jose Mourinho is not the right man for United or hasn't improved Manchester United, you're absolutely off your head. And lose my number, man, because I don't want to talk to you. But ultimately, it is what it is. The comments in here are just ridiculous. They're going too fast for me to read, for one. And ultimately, I don't think people are adding anything to the conversation with some of the comments that they're adding, especially your foreign fans. Not foreign fans, sorry. Opposition fans. Do I think Martial's better as a striker than on the left wing? I think there's a lot of learning in his game that he needs to make, ultimately. And I think he needs to get games as a centre-forward if he's going to play as a centre-forward. I would prefer him as a centre-forward than Rashford as a centre-forward, but I do like him on the left. And I think if you got somebody in like a Lukaku, I think that would be really interesting to see how he would bring to the season next year. We missed Fellaini, did we really? Players seem brainwashed into thinking we can beat these top six sides. Fergie had Darren Gibson believing he could run the midfield in the Champions League. Did he really, or did he just have a great team around him? It's easy to have one or two passengers in a team when you've got 9 players in a team that are absolutely top of their game. You can bring anybody in. But when you've got a lot of players in the team that aren't good enough, that aren't up to scratch, that aren't match fit, that are playing new systems, and we have to stop thinking about what Fergie would have done, because Fergie might be the best manager to ever walk the planet. He was also at the club nearly 3 decades, which means that some of these players wasn't even born when Fergie took over. He literally built the club to the stage that it's at now. He took us from such a small club to the stage that we find ourselves at now. That it's an entirely different beast. Now, he knows the players that are coming forward. He knows the names of all these academy players, the under-14s, the under-15s, and certainly all the under-18s and that. He knows what's coming in. He knows these players intimately. He knows what he can and can't get out of them. And he knows what he's got in that first team. Now, if you look at the team that won the title in 2013, and then you look at the squad photo now, and you see how few players are left from that, it's not about what Fergie did. It's about what those players did. And you've got to ask yourself, okay, yes, we had the likes of Darren Gibson, we had the likes of Anderson, we had the likes of Cleverley. But do you know what? We also had Paddy Evra, Nemanja Vidic. We had Rafael, who I would love in this side at the moment at right back. We had Rio Ferdinand. We had Edwin van der Sar. We had all of these players. Paul Scholes, Ryan Giggs, bit part players. That was our bit part player then. Robin van Persie up front. Wayne Rooney still a force to be reckoned with. The team just isn't as good as it was then. Now, we've got some excellent footballers in this side. Pogba, Herrera, Mkhitaryan, Bailly. Players that I think would start in 99% of teams around the world. But there's not enough of them. We need more of them. We need to be bringing in more players. I think Rashford and Martial have got endless potential. I think Luke Shaw's got endless potential if he can get runs of games and prove how good he is. David De Gea is one of the top 1 goalkeepers in the world. I think you've got potential in this team, but you've not got enough of the finished product. Jose Mourinho bought really well in the summer, and I think he's going to buy well again. But statistically, he's also due a dud. So I hope that he signs some good players. I think he will sign some good players. I think he's going to improve us. Think about this, right? Jose Mourinho took over last year and signed 4 players that was fantastic for us. All 4 of them been fantastic, and they have. I don't care what anybody says. I think all 4 signings that Mourinho had have been 4 of our best players this season, with maybe Mata and Herrera thrown into the mix on top of that as well as Dave. So that was when he didn't know what he had at Manchester United. Now you give him 12 months as manager of Manchester United, and let's see what he brings in now. Because I think that the signings that he's going to make this summer are going, if they're anything like as astute as what he made without knowing what he had, then we're going to be in a great place next year. And if I can identify one thing, it's that we need someone that's going to be able to finish for us and help us finish. And I think that's what we're going to do. We're going to find someone that can help us finish the ball. Once we get that in the summer, we're going to be a different team. Because the stats have massively improved. We're harder to beat, we create more chances, we hold more possession, and we hold it in better territory than we did under Louis van Gaal. That's undisputed. The thing that's gone down is our shooting accuracy. Our shooting accuracy has gone down, and that's not the manager. The manager's setting the team up to be able to allow them to deliver what's going on the pitch. The players have to finish what the manager's instructions are. I think in the summer we will sign people, and we will have better finishing this than we've had this season, and we're going to be finishing in a better place. I just hope that we get into the Champions League, because Thursday, Sunday negatively affects your league form. It's an undisputed fact, as we found out this season. It's really hurt our league form. We would have probably been comfortably second or third by now if we hadn't have had to deal with Europa League. And I think next season you've got to think that Chelsea are going to struggle a little bit, Liverpool are going to struggle a little bit. Both of those teams not had European football this year. That's going to be a different story for them next year. If Arsenal don't make the top four, it's going to be really interesting to see how they cope with Europa League football. All sorts of stuff still on the cards, all going to be up for grabs and all to play for and all the rest of that sort of stuff. So stop your whining, and if you're an opposition fan that's in here, then you've got a question, why are you coming to watch a United channel? And certainly one that doesn't flip out and kick off. You know, we're not Arsenal Fan TV, are we? So you're not coming here with your popcorn and thinking it's full-time Devils and chill. No, we like to analyse the actual game rather than just call the manager a wanker and ask him to be sacked. We're a bit better than that. Anyway, thank you for watching. Get your comments, anything about the game. I mean, I can't even really get excited about talking about the game because I knew this game was going to go in a similar fashion to the way it did. I predicted 2-0 on the Full-Time Devils preview. I thought we was going to lose. It was 2-1. We still lost. And I don't anticipate it going very well against Southampton either. And ditto for the Crystal Palace game. Everything's on that Ajax match in Stockholm. Let's hope we don't cock it up. Adam and all fan cams are on their way very soon, so keep it locked to Full-Time Devils, and I will see you later.